It's a beautiful Friday evening in Kansas City where we come to you from Kauffman Stadium for Royals baseball. Tonight, it's game one of a three-game series with the Cleveland Indians and the Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody. Steve Physioc, Rex Hudler with you, and Jason Hamill will make the start for the Royals tonight. This is a guy who won 15 games for the world champion Cubs last year, but this year, Rex, a lot of walks. He's not being as aggressive as he was last season.
Talking with his head mechanic, Dave Island, he said he's not trusting himself. He's not believing in himself. He can't pitch away from contact. He's got to pitch to contact. Use the defense. That's what he came here for. And he always said his first few starts, I want to use the defense. But he hasn't been. He's got excellent stuff. He just has to trust it. That's some of the hardest things sometimes. He's a 10-year veteran, Fizz. You got to have confidence, but go ahead and challenge the hitters and quit nibbling.
Jason Hamill will get the start for Kansas City. Danny Salazar goes for Cleveland, and the Royals offense, they want to think opposite field. That's why they've had success recently. Kansas City is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all, for less. Steve Physioc, Rex Hudler again. And when we talked about the Royals offense struggling earlier this year, the right-handed batters, we saw a lot of ground balls hit to the left side. The left-handed batters, a lot of ground balls hit to the right side. They've changed that recently. What's been taking place?
They've been pulling and rolling over, Fizz, and that's just a little bit of anxiousness is what that is. They've got to be selective and be patient and let the ball travel deep. And when you do, you see it longer. That's the whole key. And what happens is then after you hit some opposite field singles like this and even some doubles like that, you recognize the home run pitch. That comes later. That's a byproduct of a good natural swing. Alex Gordon, oh, that swing right there, bottle it up. That's what we're talking about. Let's see it happen tonight.
It's the Royals against the Cleveland Indians. When we come back, Joel and Monty will talk about one of the best bullpens in all of baseball, the Tri-Pen.
2-strike pitch. Swung out and missed. He blew it by him. Swung out and missed. He got him with a breaking ball. Nice pitching by Boone Logan. Back-to-back strikeouts for Shaw. Down to the ninth. Swung out and missed. He struck him out to end the ball game.
Welcome back to the cage. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. He knows a thing or two about bullpens. Hey, Monty, back in 2015, the Royals led the American League in bullpen ERA. The Indians were second. Last year, Indians second, Royals third. This year, Cleveland once again up to their same tricks with the bullpen.
Well, everybody understands that that is a great recipe for success. If you have the ability to shorten ball games, turn it into a 5, maybe 6-run or inning ball game, you're going to win a lot of those games. That's exactly what the Tribe's going to do. And look at the numbers, just really outstanding across the board.
I remember Big Papi David Ortiz telling me as we look at our Toyota League leaders that when the Royals, if you didn't get to them early, and they got that lead 6th or 7th inning on, you were in trouble. It's the same way with Cleveland, right? Because it's not just 1 or 2 guys.
Absolutely, you got to get them early because they're not going to give up much late. 34 1/3 scoreless innings pitch coming into tonight's game.
So what Jeff Montgomery will tell you, and he did on our pregame show, is you need to get to Danny Salazar in the first couple of innings. Can they do that? Biz and Hud are back after this.
Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools, so play it forward with Missouri Lottery. Buy Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And buy Ford. Going further so you can. The Royals are 7-7 at Kauffman Stadium this year. Now take on the American League champion Cleveland Indians in the first of a 3-game series. Your weather. The sun's out and the Zubas are out. That's right, the Zubas Palooza giveaway. Those beautiful looking pants. 74 degrees outside, and let's take a look at the Indians starting lineup. Carlos Santana, who has been a force against the Royals at Kauffman Stadium through the years, will lead things off. Then Francisco Lindor and Michael Brantley back, and he is healthy again, Hud.
Yeah, you know what? I'm happy for Brantley to be back. You know, gosh, that guy missed the whole year, the playoffs, the World Series, all that. That's tough sitting on the sidelines. But, you know, we wish he wasn't in that lineup because he's really been tearing the cover off the ball. Should be interesting to see if we can contain Santana. He loves hitting here.
And there is 6'6" veteran Jason Hammel. You talked in the open, Rex. You want to see him attack that strike zone.
Yes, and you know, especially Dave Island and his team, they need this guy to step up, Fizz. He just hasn't pitched to his capabilities yet. Maybe tonight will be the night that he can trust his stuff and go after guys and pitch to contact instead of pitching away from it. Forward around the horn defense, we're going to highlight Escobar, and why not? It's not getting off to the best start offensively, but if that happens and you're the shortstop, better bring that glove, and he is second best among shortstops. He's fun to watch. His footwork is impeccable. Now his throwing arm is really good, but in order to have feet like that, you got to have a good arm too, but his feet are really smooth and he gets in right position to throw.
The crew chief Jerry Davis calling balls and strikes. Hoberg, Drake, and Randazzo on the bases. And here is Hammel. First pitch to Carlos Santana is strike one.
Hey, look at that first pitch starting from the stretch, Fizz, trying something different. Hitters got to make adjustments, so do pitchers. Like to see him. He's not going from the complete windup. Strike one. That's going to be his best pitch tonight.
Santana goes after the second pitch, pops it up left side. Escobar wants it. Escobar takes it, one out. And
Hammel. There is what he's got. Fastball, slider, changeup, curve. He'll mix mainly fastball, slider. He's got a good slider. Nice depth to it. It goes straight down. And, you know, those are the toughest ones for hitters. Sliders that stay in the hitting zone a little longer, they have a flatter break to them. A little bit easier to square up, but man, he's good when that slider's working. But he's got to get the heater over.
now the ultra talented Francisco Lindor. Kid just 23 years of age, out of Puerto Rico. Already with 7 home runs. Last year he belted 15, and he has 7, and we're just beginning May.
No, Fizz, he could be an MVP, if not this year, soon to come.
Hammel doesn't miss by much.
But what's another good thing is that Hammel got the leadoff guy out. He's allowed the leadoff man to reach in 8 of the 10 innings he's allowed to run this year. So get those leadoff guys in the inning off the base, keep them off. That's a big key.
Yeah, it seems like he's had more trouble commanding the fastball this year than perhaps his best pitch, which is his slider.
Yeah, but you know, he's got good stuff. His fastball's got some good running, tailing action to it. He knows how to pitch, but just been a little bit too fine on the corners. Salvi's got him, you know, Salvi's setting up right down the middle.
And Hammel usually with good command, but 13 walks this year and only 21 2/3 innings coming in. Salvi says, let's go with the fastball.
Right there, just challenge him.
And he does, and blows it by him at 92 miles an hour.
And that's what Island wants him to do. Trust his stuff and his conviction in his fastball and be confident with it. That's a 4-seamer. Try it again.
Lindor goes to the opposite field, backhanded by Moose. He knows Lindor runs well, and Moose throws him out.
Talk about footwork, you got to have it in the infield. Moose knows how to do that. Backhand, no problem. On that pristine, beautifully drug infield, man, watered nicely by Trevor Vance and the grounds crew that works really hard out here. All he had to do was just shuffle those feet and fire a dart. Good arm.
Here's the guy you were talking about, Michael Brantley, who only played in 11 games last year because of that right shoulder injury and then needed biceps surgery in August. And as you said, missed a postseason. And wow, the Indians hadn't been to the World Series in a while and taken down in 7 games by the Cubs.
Let me see when that was. I remember '97. That must have been the last time they were there.
And that was the era where they were just a great offensive team, but they didn't have the pitching.
Yeah, it was a tough loss. I believe it was Game 7 in Miami.
And the Marlins.
Yeah, it was. I remember sitting in center field. I was with the media, and I was sitting with Bob Feller right next to him, Hall of Famer. I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I was in awe the whole game.
And Jose Mesa gave up that hit to Edgar Renteria. Cleveland suffered that night. Brantley down 0-2, and then Hamill lets that fastball get well away from him. Michael, when he's been healthy, he's been one of baseball's best. 2 years ago, actually, it was the 14 season where he was 3rd in the most valuable player. Hit .327 that year. Brantley tried to check his swing, but he went and may have caught the inside corner anyway. And Hamill with a terrific first inning. He gets the Indians in order. When we come back, we'll see Whit Merrifield, Mike Moustakas, and Lorenzo Cain, and hopefully Eric Hosmer. Whit Merrifield gets the leadoff assignment in Game 1 of this series with the Cleveland Indians. Merrifield, Moustakas, Cain, then Eric Hosmer, who really in the last week has been the Royals' hottest hitter.
Looking for a bus driver. Can we get the bus back, Fizz, and find somebody to drive? Because this guy here, if he starts driving first, we're in trouble. We got to get him in the first. Speaking of that, he's got a 4.34 ERA, which is not really like him, but it's okay. He's got great stuff. First innings this year, he's allowed 8 runs. That's a 14 ERA, 3 homers allowed, and a 4.62 opponent's average. Get him early, especially with their solid bullpen.
Merrifield up the middle, cut off by Lindor. He'll throw out Whit by a step.
Cleveland Indians defense, they're much improved over the last few years, that's for sure. This season, we're going to highlight Lindor right here in tonight's game. He won the gold, and why not? It's pretty. You're pretty good if you're a shortstop. Only what is like his 3rd year. He's got a Gold Glove. Skills.
He's been better in the major leagues than he was in the minor leagues. Now Salazar to face the Royals' Mike Moustakas, who leads the club in home runs with 7.
You talk about stuff. Stuff means velocity plus movement on that velocity. Fastball, he's going to use a majority of them. Changeup, excellent. Slider, curve, those are his third and fourth best pitches. He averages 94. There's some 97. He can add and subtract off of that baby, and when he does, it makes it really difficult. He could pitch on just his fastball alone, Fizz, by changing speeds with it. So happy to be up here with you and not in that box where Moose is or any of those hitters, man. That's tough.
Well, like you said, you need to get to this guy in the first inning. In his last start, as an example, against Seattle, he beat the Mariners 4-3, allowed all 3 runs in the first on home runs by Nelson Cruz and Kyle Seager, but after that, no hits, no runs in the next 5 1/3.
And then, you know, you get it to their pen, and they've been tough.
It will be interesting, though, because the Royals are 2-10 against the American League Central this year. Against Minnesota and Chicago, they were the favorites in those series, regardless of the outcome. They are the underdogs against the American League champions.
And that's okay.
Yeah, because they might have a chip on their shoulder.
That's right. And let the Cleveland Indians feel that pressure. 2-2. Moose is thinking right here, I've got to look for the fastball because it's a good one. And then I got to adjust anything close. But if he makes a mistake with a heater, I'm going to drive it. Now, he's shaking 3 or 4 times. That'll mess with him. Yeah.
Wow, he has an exceptional changeup and strikes out Mike Moustakas. And this is one of the best strikeout pitchers in all of baseball.
Yeah, when he spins it, though, you know, they're going to have to be patient, Fizz. You're going to have to lay off him, or he'll strike you out because he can strike him out with the best of them. Look at this. Highest strikeout per 9 in the majors.
And that is your Academy leaderboard, averaging 13 strikeouts per 9 innings. Then Sale, then Ray, Jacob deGrom. Here is Kane.
Like how Perez, the catcher Roberto, just got that ball. It was in the dirt and he just threw it off. Didn't even give it to the umpire. Just get rid of it. It's got a scuff on it. Not that one, because he caught it before it hit the ground.
Kane beginning to pick things up. 3 for his last 7, covering the last 2 games after a dreadful stretch where he was 2 for his previous 27.
He's got some nice numbers against Salazar. Oh man, that's one there. Right down the middle. But he's taken.
Salazar had a great start to last season. Had a 2.24 ERA in his first 11 starts, and then the elbow and forearm issues. Swung on and missed. Three and 2, and Kane has been the Royals' most patient hitter this year with 17 walks already. Hosmer hoping he gets up.
When you throw that hard, you have such an advantage over a hitter. And especially if your secondary pitches are any good at all.
And his changeup is really good.
Yeah.
He'll throw it to both righties and lefties.
And up there at 98, that's the best you can do with it there. Just foul it off and buy another.
Lorenzo battling. He'll see at least 8 pitches from the Indians' right-hander. And then he misses high and tight with another fastball at 98. Kane walks for the 18th time, and we will see Hosmer.
Okay, very nice. See as many pitches as you can. Now that's a little scary up there at 98 around a noggin like that. That'll get your attention.
This is our key in the driver's seat. Hosmer, good numbers against Danny Salazar. 9 hits, including 4 doubles and 2 home runs.
Boy, those are beautiful too. Took a drink here at the K off of him.
Opposite field. We talked about that in the open, how important that has been to the Royals offense beginning to come alive. They're averaging 3.8 runs the last 8 games. That's still down from where they want to be, but up from where they were. Strike 1.
Better make sure those eyes are wide awake, and you can see, that's for sure, because that first pitch right there, whoop, that was a doozy. Right down the middle, split the dish in half. That's the one he wants again. He's telling himself, all right, bring that again, please. I want to see it once, but he's not going to see it now, because more than one finger means it's going to be a wrinkle.
And it is, and Hosmer singles into right center field. Rounding first, Kane will hold at third, and the Royals with something cooking with 2 out.
He laid that right there. That's center cut. Breaking ball. 83. It get me over. Try to get there. Haas hit it where they weren't. That's a beautiful thing. Low Kane cruising into third base. Now let's see if Salvi can make some kind of contact and get a run early on him.
Eric now with a 9-game hit streak. He has 13 hits in his last 31, picking it up, and here's Salvador Perez. He's had a rough stretch. He had a really good series against the Minnesota Twins, going 5 for 8. Then very quiet against Chicago, only 1 hit.
They're still not hitting like they want to, but I'm telling you, they're getting better. Here's something right here. Runners in scoring position. You know, they're getting better. Last 8 games, 263. You know, they've always been good the last several years in this department here. Getting the big hits when you need them. That's a sign of a team, a clutch team. And when you get the 3 areas, the hitting.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Hitting with runners in scoring position, pitching and defense.
Perez leads the club in RBIs with 15.
He was guessing fastball first pitch there. That's why his swing was a little bit long. Short to the ball with his heater.
Chased one out of the zone.
Perez is just motioning to Kipnis, saying, watch out for the delay steal. Their first base coach, Rusty Kuntz, for the Royals, is really good at picking spots for a delay steal. That's 3 crow hops in a break, and it gets the middle infielders sleeping. Just get to second base.
He does go, and the pitch is fouled off the right side. Good call, Hud.
But since April 21st, the Royals haven't swiped a bag or even attempted a stolen base. That's 12 straight games. That's not like them. Of course, you take Mondesi away and send him out, Paulo Orlando and send him out. Those are 2 of their best base runners or base stealers.
And Escobar has not even attempted a steal this year.
I don't understand that either. That's part of their game. It always has been.
Salvi chases a breaking ball in the dirt, and that does it for the Royals in the first inning. When we come back, we'll talk Ian Kennedy's injury with Joel Goldberg. That's next. Royals. Your Royal beverage needs a place to rest, fans. Come out to the K tomorrow when the Royals take on the Indians, and the first 10,000 fans through the gates will receive a Royals coaster set courtesy of Price Chopper. Visit Royals.com, area Price Chopper locations, or call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. Hamill against Edwin Encarnacion. This was the big addition the Cleveland Indians made in the offseason, how they were looking for a designated hitter. They lost Mike Napoli to the Texas Rangers, and they chose to give Encarnacion the 3-year deal.
Little bit surprising with Terry Francona, as loyal as he is, and Napoli having a pretty good year, and he meant so much to the clubhouse. But hey, look, you have a chance to get Encarnacion, who's a polished, big-time home run guy. You know, he went with it. It's a business.
He pops it up, shallow right center. Bonifacio there, and there's one out. Let's go to Joel.
All right, Fizz, we saw yesterday Ian Kennedy leave the game in the 5th inning with a hamstring injury. He did hit the disabled list today, but the news is positive. And as we see in our University of Kansas Health System injury update, he is on the disabled list, but the training staff are very encouraged. They're going to rest him for a few days, reevaluate with doctors on this hamstring strain on Sunday. But it was told to me by head trainer Nick Kenny that if they still had the 15-day DL, they might have a decision to make whether they wanted him to actually sit that long. So he probably wouldn't have missed 3 starts, but will now miss 2. And the word that was used to me, optimistic. They're going to give it a little rest. You never know what could happen, but they're very encouraged and think he will be back very soon.
And Joel, 2 years ago against the San Diego Padres, he had a similar leg injury and missed about a month, so I'm sure they want to take care of that situation. Those hamstrings, as my partner has told me before, hamstring is a lion muscle.
I believe it is.
Hey, Jose Ramirez, boy, one of the most dynamic players last year for the Indians. He had a down season in 2015 and then a great year last year, hitting .312 and hitting better than that this season. 23 RBIs. You know, Hud, he reminds me a little bit, because of his size, but also his power, of Joe Morgan.
Interesting comparison. He can do a little bit more than Joe could, though.
Ooh, I don't know about that. Joe's 2-time MVP.
Joe can't play left field, center field, third base, and shortstop at first base.
But because he always played second base. You don't know if he could play those.
But he didn't. This guy does. Now look, he surprised me more than any other player in the league. I didn't think he was much his first year. That was in 14. He wasn't impressive. 13, actually, he got 12 at-bats. And then 14, he came on the scene. He got 237 ABs, and I'm thinking, well, he hit 262. You know, he's not a bad little player. He looks like he could be a decent player. But, man, never expected him to hit over 300 and 565 at-bats like he did last year. But here's the reason. He got up there to the big leagues, had some success, and believed in himself and said, it's my turn, I'm standing up. So that tells me a lot about his heart. Big heart, good talent, but not afraid. Good confidence.
Here's Jason Kipnis, a good hitter, having a bad month of April and May, but remember, he got hurt in spring training. And there's a ground ball up the middle past Merrifield. Racing to third is Ramirez. Bonifacio brings it back to the infield, and it's first and third with 1 out for Cleveland.
There's a fastball down the middle. You're going to hit it hard, but you're going to trust that the defender's there. Merrifield looked like he played him just a little bit to pull, and he couldn't get to it.
So Ramirez at third. Kipnis, who started the year on the disabled list, along with this guy, Lonnie Chisenhall, both out because of right shoulder injuries. But Chisenhall, you see how he has gotten hot of late.
Roll the ground ball. Go ahead and challenge, but stay down in the zone with that. Maybe an off-speed pitch you can bring in there. Slider's an effective pitch, but that's more of a swing and miss pitch. Change up, The league's hitting 455 off of that. So just if you're going to throw it, try to command down, everything down. I talked to Dave Island. He says Huddy's 6'6". Work down. It's a tougher angle for the hitter. There it is.
And that was the slider. Chisenhall, at one time a platoon player, faced only right-handers. And that bounced in front of the plate. Would you go right back there? Not to the plate, I'm talking same pitch.
Yeah, you know, keep it. You want it down there somewhere below the knees, and if he swings, he hits the ground ball to the Merrifield, and they get out of the inning.
Slider again. They're going to go to first. Kipnis back.
Kipnis has a steal.
Stole 15 out of 18 last year.
Good situational type runner, and this is a situation where if he can get a jump, he might want to go. Stay out of that double play. Hamill's quick with his feet. He's a good athlete. He just wiped his dirty hand on Haas's back. How about that?
Advantage Hamill at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Salvi wants him to shake. Looks like he's going to come back with that slider. Struck him out. Once he bounced one in front of the dirt and Chisenhall chased it, he stayed with that pitch to get him out.
Well, Salvador Perez, he knows exactly how hard that is to hit, and he swings at him himself sometimes. Now that's 93 down. He knows to stay down if he can to get the ground ball, but once he got him to swing at it, Fizz, they're going to stay right there until he can lay off it.
Now Abraham Almonte, he's playing right field. He had a rough time in the Detroit series, going 0 for 8. Cleveland lost 2 of 3 to the Tigers and rained out yesterday. Ramirez at third, Kipnis at first, and Jason has not broken yet. Hamill does have a high leg kick at times. He's trying to abbreviate that to keep Kipnis from stealing second base. 1 ball, 1 strike. In now.
Working ahead. Still backdoor breaker. This guy's saying strike him out. Look at him. You can read his lips. He wants the punch out, Fizz.
And he'll get the punch out. Ball in the dirt. Salvi to Haas. Great job by Hamill striking out Chisenhall and Almonte. When we come back, we'll talk with Jason Kutcher, who's in the driver's seat tomorrow on national TV. Tomorrow on FS1, the Royals continue their series with the Tribe. Catch all the action of FS1 beginning at 2 o'clock or streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler, and the guy who'll be broadcasting the game, Justin Kutcher. And Justin, tomorrow's Derby Day. Are you going to wear anything special for the Royal faithful?
You know what? It's like a tradition. It seems like every year for Derby Day, I am here in Kansas City, and it started about 3 years ago. I wear my seersucker suit.
All right.
And much to the chagrin of my broadcast partner, Eric Karros, the seersucker suit has been unpacked.
That's a little tongue twister there. I like it though. What color is it?
Well, it's the official seersucker. I mean, you could only go one color. It's blue and white.
All right.
Well, Eric Karros owes you because you moved the broadcast to visit with us from the 3rd inning to the 2nd inning so he could eat sooner, so he can't make fun of your seersucker suit.
Oh, he'll still make fun of me for it, but it's okay. That's the reason why I do it, to have some fun.
Here is Alex Gordon. We'll talk about the Royals because we see them every single day, and you come in, you talk to the guys, you talk to the manager. What do you see from afar?
I see a team kind of in flux right now. It's a time right now in this month of May where you're sitting here figuring out what direction do they go in. Do they make a run during this month and they keep this team together, or is what we saw in April what we're going to see in May? And if that's the case, do you start selling off the pieces? Because that's what I think everybody around baseball is wondering with this team. What pieces do they have to sell off if they are going to sell? And what can they get for those pieces? If they have the players right now, a lot of the players are the same players that you guys have seen for the last several years who helped make that run and win the World Series championship. It's a matter of what can they do? What can they do in this series? What can they do in the next few weeks to see if it's a go?
Alex Gordon had a good comment after last night's loss as he bangs one back to Salazar, who underhands to first base, but he said our offense has been awful and yet we are still just 6 games back.
6 games back, and I think it's because the team they're playing right now, the Indians, I mean, this Indians team is in a tie for first place coming into tonight's game, but I don't think they've come close to hitting their stride. And I think if you look at this team right now, for me coming into this year, they were my pick to win the American League, to represent the American League in the World Series. And I still think they will be that team. I think once they hit their stride, they can open up a comfortable 6-game, 7-game lead over the second-place team in the division. So I think that's why it hasn't really opened up yet in the division.
Justin, it's very sensitive subject here. Now we're blessed to be able to do this 150 games a year in this marketplace. And love it. Fizz and I both live here. But the fans have fallen in love with these players. These players have delivered some exciting baseball over the last several years. And back-to-back pennants and World Series. I mean, it's been beautiful to see how it's transformed the city. They've always been a baseball town, but for 30 years before that, they struggled. So it's sensitive. You can talk about it, and Eric can talk about it when you get over here to, you know, and tell it a lot easier than we can. It's just a sensitive subject to these fans, so they're pulling so hard for these guys to have a good year and to get back to 500 and stay in this race so they don't have to sell them off.
And look, I get it, because honestly, I love coming here to Kansas City. I love coming here to Kauffman Stadium and doing games. This is one of my favorite ballparks in the country, and I love the fan base. I think the whole story about how the Royals built this team and how the guys came up, the nucleus of this team, and how they won, I think it's so great. I love the fact that they played small ball, that it wasn't about hitting home runs, that they won with speed, with defense, with some good pitching, great bullpen. I love that because it goes against everything you saw in baseball for the last 10, 15 years. And I love the fact that these fans have connected with the players. The fact that when they won and Eric Hosmer, you know, paid for the tab at the bar, I think that is so cool. At the same time, I think people also have to understand that what that team did that is a special bond that you will have forever with that team. You'll always look back at that team that went to back-to-back World Series and won a World Series and think about those players and think how great they were for you. And then you got to start thinking and take that fandom away and start realizing what is best for this organization. How do we keep on being in the hunt year after year?
Here's Brandon Moss. He swings and misses because the day after, the very day after they won the World Championship in 2015, Dayton Moore got his staff together and said, fellas, we need to talk about not only next year, but 3 years from now, because they want to be contenders year in, year out, much like the Atlanta Braves when they went to 14 straight postseasons.
Yeah, and it's tough. And you think about, you know, the teams in 14 and 15 and what they had, that bullpen that was so incredible. You basically sold off 2 of those pieces of that bullpen that made that 7, 8, 9 so great. And so that part is gone. You've got the pieces like Hosmer still here, Kane, Moustakas, Perez. I mean, you've got that nucleus, Escobar. You've got those guys still there, but the pitchers, the starting pitchers aren't the same starting pitchers that you had. And so how do you build it? How do you keep those guys together? Those Braves team, they had the starting pitchers the entire time, and they were able to replenish and fill the gaps around them with different guys as position players, but they had that foundation with starting pitchers. And so I think there's just a different way to do it. There is a way to sustain it. It's even harder when you're in a small market. There's such a small margin for error when you're a team like the Royals, and to do what they've done, everyone watching right now, to do what they've done, you should pat yourself on the back, give Dayton Moore a round of applause. I'm looking at the World Series ring right now because that is awesome. To go up against some of the behemoths in this sport and win that World Series and go to back-to-back World Series, that's just amazing.
Right now, Escobar after Moss walked, and he'll take it a little bit high.
I mean, look, even the Indians are trying to almost model themselves after what the Royals did with their back end of the bullpen.
Yeah, the Royals arguably have the greatest bullpen in the history of the game with that HDH, Herrera, Davis, and Holland.
But the combination of offensive contact baseball, put the ball in play, don't strike out, you know, just pressure defenses. An air or an infield hit, a chopper, was a rally for the Royals. And they just fed off it. Frenzy style hitting, 1 through 9. It was so exciting that people were like, oh my God, Escobar hits the first pitch of the game for an inside the Parker. I mean, the people just went crazy.
It was awesome. I loved it. I truly loved watching those teams.
Well, Justin Kutcher, you get to talk about it with Eric Karros, but right now you're going to be on the plaza having some fine dinner.
Well, thanks, guys. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
All right, Justin, thank you. Longtime Royal Alex Gordon on Thursdays in his fan section. Gordo Nation. For only $35, you get a seat in left field, a limited edition Charlie Hustle brand t-shirt, and an Alex Gordon big head. Join your fellow fans for this fun experience supporting Gordo. For tickets, go to Royals.com/theme tickets. Number 9 batter Roberto Perez. He was 0 for 4 in that Detroit series and batting just .176. Well, he was one of the hitting stars in the postseason. I remember that grand Game 4 he had where he belted 2 home runs off Cubs pitching. He shares that catching role with Yan Gomes. Gomes expected to be the starter for tomorrow and Sunday. And Rex, they missed Roberto Perez last year for 2.5 months with a right thumb injury, and they tried to go after Jonathan Lucroy, almost got him, but then Lucroy nixed the deal and was traded to Texas.
Well, I think Lucroy having the opportunity to veto the trade and then to do it was a smart thing. He saw what they had here. Even though he's more an offensive catcher and they wanted some more offense in that position, he said, you know what? Texas has just as good a chance to win as they do. But you know what's impressed me about Perez? Not just how he stepped up in postseason and hit all those homers, but how he threw out our Terrence Gore, who hadn't been thrown out in regular season. He threw him out one night and he threw him out the next night, back to back.
That was in Cleveland. I remember doing that game with you.
Right. No one had ever thrown Terrence Gore out.
Hamill working his way back in the count after falling behind 3-0. And then goes right down the middle and fouled back by Perez.
And
mad at himself. He thought that was the pitch he wanted.
To this date, Terrence Gore has 19 major league steals. He was 19 for 19, and then his last 2, he only has 2 caught stealings, and it's from this guy right here.
Another 3-2 and taken low, ball 4. Well, the big story today is about the Cubs and the New York Yankees. Brett Gardner, with the Yankees trailing 2-0, 2 on, 9th inning. He rips it to right field and gone, and New York shocks the Cubs at Wrigley Field.
Wow, Gardner, he's pumped up about that, but you see where that pitch was? That was right down there in the left-hander's nitro zone. All you got to do is just drop the head of that bat there, and that ball just got some backspin on it.
So the Yankees in first place in that American League East. They started the day a half game up on Baltimore. Hamill's control troubles continue. That's his 15th walk now, and a leadoff walk to the number 9 batter always hurts. Against the Twins, he had a 3-run third, and that began with a leadoff walk to the number 9 batter, Byron Buxton.
We got to check out the numbers on Santana here with our Kubota power stats. Check it out, man. That slugging percentage, whew, here at the K, there's none better.
He had one series where he hit 5 home runs.
I remember.
And he has belted 23 in his career against Kansas City pitching. Hamill trying to keep it down, but falling behind the count against a very disciplined hitter. Santana has averaged 107 walks per season the last 3 years.
Yeah, but you know what though? Hamill, in order for him to help his team win this game, he can't be afraid of pitching, throwing strikes, man. He's going to have to get in there. Trust the defense. Trust your stuff.
Strike in there, evening the count, 2-2.
Santana has grounded into 3 double plays this year. Slider right there where he wants it. Out of the middle. Infield playing to pull, that's for sure.
He also said trust your defense.
Yeah, that's right. And he's hoping that he hits it at one of them.
Santana, not a prototypical leadoff hitter, but because he walks so much, that's why Francona pencils him in there. He gets on base. Went with the slider on a 2-2 count.
At this particular spot in the order at the top, it's only going to get tougher. And with nobody out, he's got to make a pitch here. Lindor looming, Brantley, Encarnacion. We've got some hammers coming.
Well, he made an aggressive pitch and went off speed. Maybe Santana looking for the fastball, didn't get it, and a pop up to center field.
Good.
Stayed with his pitch. Lindor hit the ball hard, but Moustakas backhanded, threw him out.
Fizz, you know, you just got to take a look. You got to love the stirrups. Look at those socks. Now those are what you call stirrups. Okay, you got the white sanitary underneath there, and you got the stirrups are the ones that go. You put the white underneath first, and then you put the other ones on top over those. We used to wear those back in the day.
Runner goes, pitch taken, throw by Salvador Perez, and he is safe. Now Perez came off the bag. Hamill did have a high leg kick, giving his base run a little more time to go, and Wakamatsu talking with Bill Duplessis underneath.
Well, you know, this rotation here is not built to get the ball home quickly. Now Ned has the best replay coordinator in baseball, Billy Duplessis. So normally, it's on the overslides, obviously. He's off the base right there.
Ooh.
So there's no.
Yeah, but did the left foot stay on?
Well, you know, for Bill Duplessis, who's been perfect this year, to be able to say, let's replay it, it's close. He's off.
I know. I just wasn't sure if that left knee kind of creased the bag.
Watch after initial contact with the base in his foot here. Watch this. He comes up. He's off right there.
Yeah. And Terrence Gore got called out on the throw by Perez on a similar situation. Billy Duplessis.
Yeah, this will be a big out for him here. So we talked about it the last few nights, how, you know, the league is, Salvi's only 1 for 16 throwing runners out this year, which is not a high mark.
He's out. Billy Duplessis, you the man.
Believe it. He knows.
And good job by Escobar for staying with the play. He didn't snap his glove off, Hud.
No, Salvi's 2 for 17. Now he's 3 for 18 in throwing runners out. But they want him to throw, even if the pitchers don't hold the runners good and they get great breaks. Throw anyway.
Now Lindor up there with nobody on, 2 out.
It's because the replay. You want to throw just in case you know they come off the base. That would have been Roberto Perez's first career stolen base. How about that? Hang with him. He had it. He beat it.
Billy's 7 for 8.
Oh, my bad. I thought he was perfect.
No, remember yesterday?
Yeah, my bad. Escobar is playing some outstanding Gold Glove caliber defense. He can just get his offensive game back together. It's going to help the team and him so much.
A lot of these guys part of that World Baseball Classic. Lindor from Puerto Rico, Escobar, who you talked about, started for Venezuela. Great pitch, a slider by Hamill, strikes out Lindor. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Salvi with a throw out. Escobar stays with it. Nothing, going to the bottom of the third. Real has spent thousands of hours volunteering and giving back to the community. Trudy has served in a volunteer role at numerous Kansas City organizations, including the World War I Museum and Memorial, the Kansas City Zoo, the UMKC Conservatory of Music and Dance, as well as many others. Thank you for serving Kansas City. And you are sitting in the Buck O'Neil legacy seat. And Buck, man, I miss him.
Yeah.
One of the great guys of Kansas City.
He'd be proud of Trudy, but really I'm proud of that gentleman who I think is her husband sitting to her left.
So you're taking a guess.
She's beautiful. Way to go, sir.
There is a strike to Whit Merrifield. For fans, if you've never been to the Negro Leagues Museum, you've got to go. I mean, I used to go there and visit with Buck O'Neil, Bob Kendrick. Bob obviously is going to be here on Sunday. He is the president of the Negro Leagues Museum, and he might be the only one in the ballpark to outdress Rex Hudler.
Fizz, that gentleman is so articulate when he tells stories about baseball. I could listen to him for days. He's unbelievable. He's the perfect man for the only Negro League museum in the world. He's the perfect guy for it, and we're so thankful and very fortunate to have him and that beautiful museum right here in Kansas City.
I've been there 10 times, and I always find something new and interesting every time I go. Merrifield knocks it foul.
How about the ball man down there, Fizz? He made an excellent play. He jumped off of that stool and backed up and played that perfectly off the wall. And, you know, he looks like a ball boy, but with that beard, he looks like a ball man.
Count 1-2.
That's right. Whitley's not jumping. He knows he don't need to jump out there to get this guy. Let him come to you. Stay short with your swing. Choking up an inch or two is a great idea. That gives you a little more balance with the bat.
In the air to center field. Left center, and it will be the left fielder Michael Brantley to make the catch. Join us this Sunday versus the Indians for Salute to the Negro Leagues. The first 15,000 fans through the gates will receive a Monarchs jersey presented by Fox Sports Kansas City. Make sure to come to the K wearing your Sunday best to honor the tradition of attending Negro League games dressed to the nines. Visit Royals.com/NLBM for tickets. We talk with Bob about that all the time, about the address to the Nines Day, it was because the Kansas City Monarchs were like the New York Yankees of the Negro Leagues. They dominated. They won championships, and fans would flock to their games at Old Municipal Stadium. And because of it, when they play on Sundays, they moved the start time of church up an hour so the fans could go directly from church to the ballpark to watch the likes of Jackie Robinson and Satchel Paige and on and on.
Now you need to save some of those stories for Sunday. All right, don't let the cat out of the bag on all of them. I know I am too.
And Bob Kendrick will be joining us in both our pre-game and during the game on Sunday. Believe me, Bob has like a million more stories, all of them great.
See if Moose can use a little two-strike approach. That's what made him such a good hitter in 15. He came out and said, you know what, I'm tired of the shifting me like that. I'm just going to hit it against it. Now 1 and 2 count with 2 strikes. You want to take a little something off your swing and just try to place it over there. See if he can do it here.
Salazar stays with the slider and strikes him out.
Way too aggressive we are against this guy. Change up, and you know that's what he goes to. Fastball, changeup. Those are his 2 most used pitches.
Yeah, he's walked 2 in the game, but easily could have walked 3 or 4, and the Royals dead last in the American League in walks with 67. And there's another bad pitch that was never a strike.
They're not seeing it out of his hand. They're not picking up the release point.
Well, he has the 3rd highest swing and miss rate in Major League Baseball. Chris Sale is number 1 at 35.5%. Jacob deGrom at 35.5%, and then Salazar at 35%. So you said it. I mean, he's got 4 quality pitches.
And we swing the most of any team. So really, not a good matchup, this pitcher and us. Look at that.
There's a good 2-strike approach. And as you talked about in the open HUD, opposite field. Go ahead and use that other field.
See how easy that swing was? I mean, he tried to do that. That's a fastball. Oh, no, it wasn't. It's a little spinner. It didn't do much.
Yeah, it was a hanging slider.
Yeah, they call that a
Frisbee?
No, cement mixer.
Okay.
Where it just kind of spins. You know how you see the big trucks? You know, that thing just kind of spins. Doesn't do anything.
Except fix your driveway.
I don't know who came up with that one, but it's a good one.
Hosmer bangs one to right field. That's down the line. Kane roaring for 3rd. Jersley is gonna hold him. And Hosmer is 2 for 2 with a single and a double.
Yeah. Last time he snuck a piece of cheese by him on the first pitch. Haas took it, and then he raked the next pitch for a single as a slider. But this time up, he says, I'm gonna look for the heater, and he got it in, pulled it by Santana, and now had Almonte thrown the ball to second base, Kane would have scored. Jersley would have sent it. Remember this play when Bautista with the Blue Jays, he threw it to second base, but Jersley, he's watching the play. He's watching. He's the eyes for Lorenzo. You see Kane coming around here at third base. He can't see, the ball's behind him. He's picking up his third base coach right here, Mike Jersley. That's what you want. Pick up the coach. He'll tell you what to do.
Okay, I want to ask you, what should Salvador Perez's approach be this time after Salazar abused him with sliders?
Be ready and stay short. Stay short. That was his pitch there. First pitch, he's trying to get ahead of you. But now just try to do what Lorenzo did. Take a piece out of that hit. Just look for it and just kind of play pepper with it. A short swing and find a hole. One little hole plates 2 runs, which would be huge against this guy. It's a big time now. Salvi, he had an opportunity in this last time up. Big opportunity for the Royals, and he wasn't picking it up, and he was just flailing and bailing, and didn't have to throw him a strike.
The Royals have been better with 2 out lately. Last 8 games hitting .289. Salvador was up 1st and 3rd in the 1st inning. Struck out swinging on a slider down and away.
Even a Kansas City special would be beautiful, and that's a doinker. I'm calling it that now in Hawks. Hawk Harrelson loves that. That's how he calls it, doinker. Oh, good try, but get in the stands.
It does. 5 rows up. Salvi down 0-2. On 0-2, if Salazar throws the slider, it likely will not be a strike.
Could be a mistake like the one to Lorenzo. Lorenzo, he just kind of spun it right up there.
Nope. This time, Salvi patient. Good crowd on a Friday night here in Kansas City. Beautiful evening and great weather for both Saturday and Sunday's games as well. Plenty of great tickets available. 3:15 tomorrow, 1:15 on Sunday.
Salvi knows how to handle a 2-strike approach. Shorten up that swing. Don't be long. There you go. Good stroke. Good try on the heater. Or spinner. It was a spinner again at 88.
Throwing a lot of pitches, already at 65 to get 8 outs. And then he swings and misses at the slider and strikes out. When we come back, we'll have World Series trivia. Terry Francona of the Indians, and it's time for our World Series sprint trivia question. Name the 3 franchises to lose Game 7 of the World Series and then win it all the following season. Well, we know one team, and you're looking at their manager. You know, I was thinking the Cincinnati Reds before they won in 75, 76, but I don't think that's the case. Maybe Oakland before they won their 3.
Maybe the Yankees.
Yankees, that's a good, because they won so many.
Cardinals?
They've won, what, 11?
They got the second most.
Yeah. Michael Brantley, the batter.
Indians trying to do it this year.
Yep. Francona was asking about you in the dugout before the ball game. And I said, well, he has a responsibility to watch his son William play a baseball game today, one of the rare opportunities because Rex works every day.
Yeah, so they had,
and then I said it's a national game tomorrow, so Rex will bother you on Sunday. Francona goes, I'll look forward to that.
No,
count on it.
No, he won't. He certainly was a lot of fun in his first year ever as a big league manager. I got to play for him, so I'm very thankful for that, and to him.
And help get that gorilla off the Red Sox back after they had gone so many years without a world title, and then he led them to 2.
But I think if you ask him about his Philadelphia experience, 4 years managing there, that was really good for him.
Got him ready for Boston.
Sure did.
And Milwaukee got Ned Yost ready for Kansas City.
That's right. It's not easy in baseball to win.
Ned was the perfect guy at the perfect time for these Royals. Look at that young man.
she's beautiful, Biz. That's a little girl.
Are you sure? Because it had the blue on the. There's a base. Well, no, ground ball came off the mound and Whit Merrifield with a nice play. That was headed towards center field, then kicked off the mound and slowed down.
Hamill, he'll take it right here. Watch this off his glove, Fizz.
Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. Hopped up, you know, but that's 2 gloves. Sometimes are better than 1.
So Brantley out number 1, and here is Edwin Encarnacion, who flied out to right his first time up. A little bit of a slow start for the great Toronto star, who belted 42 home runs last year, drove in 127.
Okay, so we got the Royals and we guess the Yankees. Ooh, that's out.
And it is 1-0 Cleveland.
Let's see what pitch it was. It looked like it was a slider, maybe 85 miles an hour. Looked like it just broke a little, and Hamill knew it. Right over the middle of the plate.
Just the second home run that Hamill has given up this year. Now a strike thrown to Ramirez, who walked his first time up. For Edwin, number 5 this season. Takes strike 2, and Ramirez wore out the Royals last year. It seemed like he got double after double after double. He had 8 doubles in the 19 games against Kansas City.
Okay, I got a hint, Fizz, that the other team that lost in Game 7 and won the next year is in the American League Central. So I'm going to guess the Detroit Tigers. Do you have a
You know what? Then it was the early Tigers in 36.
Okay.
And that was the year Detroit won the Stanley Cup, the NFL championship, and the World Series. Hank Greenberg was their star.
Really?
Well, I'm guessing because when you said Detroit, I'm going the only time they could get it was.
I'm just guessing Detroit.
Well, they went to back-to-back World Series that year.
You mean year after that?
34, 35. The 35 team, I beg your pardon. 35, they won all 3 championships that year, and 34 they had lost. The Yankees did it 4 times.
It's interesting.
Here's Kipnis, singled his first time up.
You know, and what the Giants do? They won what 3 in the last 5. They would win every other year. 10, 12, 14.
But they didn't win in 16 when everybody expected them.
No,
because it was the even year.
And everybody's buddy Madison Bumgarner complimented our Royals by saying he couldn't believe that we did it in back-to-back years. They couldn't. He said
it's so exhausting.
Yeah, it was too tiring for their team. They needed to recover the previous years of that.
And that's what the Indians are trying to do after losing in Game 7 to the Cubs last year. And quite frankly, Hud, it's much more difficult to do it than it was in the old days, because in the old days it was the American League champion against the National League champion. You played best of 7. Now it's wild card, division series, championship series, then World Series. What a month!
Real, Fizz, you're right. You know, back then they just took the 2 teams and they went at it. Wow, what a grind.
KIPNIS down the right field line into the corner. It hits off, and Bonifacio fires it in, and Jason with a couple of hits, a single and a double.
He Tommy hawked this one. That's on the inner half. Salvi wanted it down in the zone, and it was not where he wanted it, and KIPNIS took advantage of it, kept it in the ballpark by staying on top of it.
And that was important. You want to be able to stay close to this Cleveland team because of their great bullpen. They're able to shorten games. Chisenhall struck out swinging his first time up. And Hamill really worked him with slider after slider and starts him with first pitch slider, strike 1. Oh, and 2.
Hamill looking much better tonight. He's just walked a couple, but it hasn't hurt him. Those 2.
He's been very, very good this year inside of 75 pitches. KIPNIS with the 2-out double. Swings and misses at the slider and strikes out. But a 1-out home run by Edwin Encarnacion gives Cleveland a 1-0 lead. Gordon, Bonifacio, Moss are coming up.
going to show you in Minnesota. Look at those funky uniforms they've got off the Red Sox there. Miguel Sano off Eduardo Rodriguez hits a triple. Oh man, you love to run for days when you hit high off of that wall. Look at Bauer, he's coming in to score. And Minnesota's up 2-1, top of the 5th inning. There you go. Looked like Bauer can take that piano off his back.
Hey, stop it. Here's the American League Central to start the day. Chicago, Cleveland tied for the top spot at 15-12. The Royals 6 games back. That's what Alex Gordon was talking about yesterday. Our offense has been awful, and yet we're only 6 games back. Just keep on grinding. A long way to go. This offense too good to be stuck at 2.9 runs per game and batting .212. Alex still looking for that first home run of the year. It's 17 last season, and that was in an injury-plagued year. Three and two.
That's it. Pick it up as soon as you can. Pick it up and zone him. Just try to look for your pitch. It's hard to do. A guy throws that hard. I tell you, this guy's a very tough competitor to try to hit.
Gordon pulls it to first and out there. Fans, do you want to host your company, family, sports team, or other groups out at the ballpark for a special occasion this summer? Group tickets, single game suites, and party areas are now available for regular season games throughout the summer. Call 816-504-4040 option 4 or email groupsales@royals.com for rates and availability. Jorge Bonifacio struck out swinging, and Salazar really worked him with fastballs, and now he starts him off with a slider. Strike one.
I guarantee you, in all the years that Bonifacio has been in the minors, he's never seen a pitcher like this before.
But Jorge, you'd think, would have some success. He doesn't have much of a stride. He's short and quick to the ball.
No, he's going to be a nice player for a long time, I believe. Bonifacio will. But, you know, Salazar, he can handle just about any right-hander in today's game and in the past.
And Jorge Soler is getting close to coming back. He's performing well, hitting over 300 at AAA Omaha in his rehab assignment from that oblique injury. Jorge is scheduled to come off on the 10th, which would be next Wednesday in Tampa Bay. Three and two.
That'll be a management decision when that comes.
Well, I thought they'd ask you.
Oh, no, that was not a very good statement, was it? Get in there.
He will get to first base.
There you go. That's a tough play right there. You can't give him an error on that. Thank you.
They gave him a base hit.
That's Tester right there now as a defender.
Why is that?
Because it's coming at you with some top spin, and you got to just, it's just an Olay play. You kind of just throw your glove out there and hope like heck you make it. See, he's reading it, doing all he can. It's an in-between hop, first of all, and it's got top spin on it. That's the worst combination.
Does the top spin take a bigger hop?
Yeah, it takes off and hops, and so you gotta just Olay it. That's what they call it. You know how the bullfighter has the cape, and he just kind of olays when the bull comes by. That's the
Tunka.
right. So pick your glove and just take a shot at it. Olay.
Brandon Moss walked his first time up. Gentleman with good power, 4 home runs. Ooh, and he got a one in his wheelhouse at 98 and spun it back to the screen.
Salazar's given up 3 home runs, 2 to lefties, 1 to right-handers. So you can get him. You just pick that pitch right there. This one here.
He gave up 2 home runs in the first inning of his last start, 1 to a right-hander, Cruz, and 1 to a left-hander in Seager. The Royals have battled Salazar well. He's a guy who has dominated Kansas City the last 5 starts with a 1.5 ERA and a 4-1 record, but they're getting guys on. They have just not been able to come through in the clutch. First and third in the first, second and third in the third.
Spin the pitches, you know, and that's what he's doing. 82 pitches here.
At least 20 in the first 3 innings.
And as good as he's been, get him out of there. We'll try the pin. Doesn't matter. It's good. They have the best bullpen in baseball, but try somebody else. We're due. Maybe he makes a mistake here. Nope.
Did not. And strikes out Brandon Moss. That's strikeout number 6. And not yet 4 innings by Danny Salazar.
Keep in mind how easy it looks at home, but when he throws that hard and then just puts a little finger pressure on the middle finger and spins it, then
yeah, he now has
trick you.
48 strikeouts in not even 33 innings. That's pretty dominant. And then he delivers 97 right at the knees. Escobar popped up to left. And he was signed by the Indians at the age of 16. And an Indian scout had spotted him at the age of 13. Playing in a Dominican Republic league, and followed him. Saw a young man with a dynamic arm, watched him grow up, watched his work ethics, work habits. Wow. He has thrown 2 fastballs, perfect location, outside corner at the knees to Escobar. And that slider strikes him out. by Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest lasting full-size pickups on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. By Panera Bread. Panera caters for every group, every size, every meal. And by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Find a servicing Steel dealer near you. And at steeldealers.com or search STIHL. '15 World Champs. Cleveland trying to win their first World Championship since 1948. There's a breaking ball that rests on the outside corner to Abraham Almonte. And that might have been one of the first curves that Jason's thrown tonight.
Had a little bit slower look to it, bigger break.
And he comes with the slider and has Almonte down 0-2. Abraham struck out. Jason has struck out 5. Interestingly, he has struck out the last batter of each of the first 4 innings. Pop foul. Royals have not given Jason much run support. He's 0-5 in his Kansas City's 0-5 in his starts, scoring just 8 runs when he's been out there. And then a good fastball that is running down and away from Almonte, and he swings and misses. Strikeout number 6.
Yeah, nice heater. That had a little bit of action to it. See how it starts out in the middle of the plate, ends up off. That's beautiful. That's what he wants to do with that fastball. Now we're reaching a point where he's had some difficulties after the 75 pitches. So a couple more pitches, and he's so far this season. I mean, he's looking a lot better tonight.
But it's a small sample size.
It is.
Another good slider that busts down and away from the bat of Roberto Perez. That's what you're talking about. In the 538, that's 7 for 12. Seven for 13, I beg your pardon, and there is a little popper. Broken bat goes Moustakas' way, and the ball goes Escobar's way. He'll make the catch for out number 2. Refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. Beautiful look at those fountains. Ballpark debuted in 1973. The All-Star game was in Kansas City that year.
And you attended.
Yep, and I returned in 2012, and I went to both of them.
Did you have a date?
My dad.
There you go. Was that when they had the goats in the grass out there?
No, that was Municipal Stadium.
Okay.
That was with the Kansas City A's and Charlie Finley.
All right.
And the rabbit behind home plate that would come up out of a trap door with baseballs for the umpire.
Did you go to any of those games?
Oh yeah. I went to A's games as early as I think '63. Wow. Gino Cimoli was my favorite player. Cool name.
What positions he played?
First base. Slider in there. Fouled off. By the way, the Royals, Joe Goldberg told you that He and Kennedy placed at the disabled list today because of a right hamstring strain. It seems like it's a minor injury. The Royals called up from Double-A Miguel Almonte, who is spectacular down there. 1.85 ERA, 29 strikeouts, and a little more than 24 innings. So he's in the bullpen. Fastball misses away, and Ned Yost did tell us before the game that he's leaning towards starting Chris Young on Tuesday in Tampa Bay. There's Miguel Almonte. Another power arm, good changeup. And there's Chris, who's so helpful to all of the younger players down in that pen. The count 3-2. Hosmer to Hamill. 1, 2, 3.
Nice work.
When we come back, we'll see the top of the order for Kansas City. Merrifield, Moustakas, and Kane. Memorable Moments series on May 13th when the Royals take on the Orioles. The first 20,000 fans will receive an exclusive Danny Duffy bobblehead commemorating his franchise record 16 strikeouts against Tampa Bay, presented by Pepsi. Visit Royals.com and area price chopper location or call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. We head to Tampa next. There's a ground ball to the middle, and that's a base hit for Whit Merrifield. Royals have their leadoff man on for the first time tonight.
Hey, now that's what I'm talking about. Good for Whit. He's looking for a first pitch. Right there. Short, compact. Thankfully didn't hit off of Salazar. I'm sure he's okay with that too, and going through his legs. He didn't want to get hit by that either. But that's a good way to start it. Let's see if they can capitalize here.
And Rex, earlier in the game you were talking about the lack of stolen bases. This is a good situation here. Merrifield has one, but Rusty Kuntz says he's a very smart and aggressive base runner.
He is, and Salazar's quick.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. I thought he was going to catch it, but maybe the luck is turning now. Very nice. Now they're looking at the first pitches. This is a good start here for the fellas.
Salazar will now face the one guy he has not gotten out in Kane.
Moose stuck the changeup. Very good swing there. He stayed right on it. He waited. I don't know if he was expecting a changeup at first, but he waited, and there's a great shot of Locate. Believe it, those fans do.
Lorenzo with 6 RBIs. He's walked, single to right.
Stay hot on the first pitch.
Strike one. As you are facing a strikeout pitcher, as Salazar has struck out 7 in only 4 innings, and we told you, averaging 13 per 9 innings, the best mark in the major leagues.
Let's split a gap. That'd be beautiful.
Oh yeah.
See the Moose bring home the mail from first base.
Cleveland leads on Encarnacion's home run in the 4th. Boone Logan warming up in the Cleveland pen. There's 92 pitches thrown by Salazar, and he is just starting his 5th inning. Oh man, that's not good. 6, 4, and a 3 double play.
Right idea, just couldn't get underneath it and elevate it to hit in the gap. But see if Haas can stay hot. Hit it hard, but right to him.
Out jogs Mickey Callaway, who's the pitching coach for the Indians.
Well, you know, Mickey's saying, what do you think? We got a hot hitting Hosmer who's waking up out of his slump. Do you want to pitch to him, or would you rather pitch to Salvador Perez?
And twice he has struck out Salvi with runners on base to end innings.
You know, and Callaway has been a pitching coach here for the last several years, and Terry Francona has a lot of faith in him, and he's going to let him go out and tell him what he wants him to do. Instead of Tito making a trip. Whenever Francona comes out, he's changing pitchers.
About a week and a half ago, Hosmer's average was at 185, and he's raised it to 267.
So they're going to pitch to him.
Probably nothing good. But Hosmer with those long arms, if he works a middle away.
Oh!
Hosmer with a drive.
Cheese and crackers.
They chose to pitch to him.
Wrong move. Hydration station.
Wow.
That was the wrong move. Just like the previous base runners, all swinging at the first pitch. Haas is back.
You and I were looking at each other like, no way they're pitching to him, because Salazar has dominated so many right-handed bats.
Oh my, I haven't seen Hosmer ever pull one to that part of the hydration station. Oh, that was timely.
So the Royals go from 1 down to 1 up with 1 swing of the bat by Eric Hosmer.
458 feet.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
That's the longest home run this year.
That was loud.
He just needs a triple now for the cycle. Single, double, home run. Royals up 2-1. Ricks, I was really shocked that they pitched to him. I thought they were either going to pitch around him, throw him junk in the dirt.
That swing was so short and quick. Oh, man, was that nice. Good to see Haas back. And when you're 6'5" and you get your arms extended on a pitch and your long arms like that, that ball goes a long way, Fizz. You go up there and see where that is, and you look back, you're saying, really?
And then Salvi comes through with a base hit. And Francona will now make the move with the lefty Gordon coming up and Boone Logan warming in the Cleveland bullpen.
You know, you could trust Salazar, as good a stuff as he's got. You know, he probably decided, hey, look, I'm going to take him. He's a competitor, wants to beat him. I'll get Hosmer this time. Didn't work.
This is our Chevy call to the bullpen.
The Royals are on top 2-1. Danny Salazar been dealing, punching out 7 of them. And Haas says, you know, I'm looking for a fastball first pitch right down the middle. All right, I wanted about 96 miles an hour either. He got it. It's right there. Hips turn first. Hips went first. Everything else, here comes the power of the long arms. And pow, yeah. We're going to have all the specifics. The launch angle. The hit speed off the bat. And we already gave you the distance, 458, and that was great. And the fans here are pumped.
In the fountains. Well, here is Boone Logan, who has been one of the rocks for the Indians bullpen. And they have the lowest ERA in the major leagues at 1.91 as a staff, and Logan has a 1.69 ERA in 12 games.
I'm not so sure Haas has ever hit one that far. Hit speed, exit velocity 110. 29-degree launch angle. Apex 114 for those of you who are keeping score. Yeah, hang time. Pilot the Bombardier. Open up them doors.
KIPNIS will throw out Gordon. But the damage has been done by that man. Number 35, Eric Hosmer, belts his 3rd home run of the year. An absolute bomb into the fountains in right. 2-1 KC.
shy of the cycle. Joel Goldberg back here at Kauffman Stadium, where Francisco Lindor will be leading off. Guys, I had a chance to talk with Carlos Beltran back when the Royals were in Houston last month about Lindor and Carlos Correa. You know, usually when you ask a player to pick one or the other, they go with their teammate, but Beltran was a teammate of both Lindor and Correa's in the World Baseball Classic for Team Puerto Rico, and his comparison with these two guys that are 10 months apart in age and made their big league debuts just 6 days apart was this. He thinks in the long run Lindor might be the better defensive star, and eventually, he said, Correa way down the line might move positions because he's so big at 6'4", and you know, the body holding up and all that. But he said, oh my goodness, they are both superstars at their young age. They're very prepared. They get after the lifting. They eat all the right things. They have all of the ingredients that usually veteran players have. These are young guys that know exactly what they're doing, and Beltran telling me that he's basically in awe of both of these kids. One was born in late 1993, that's Lindor. The other born in 1994. So 23 and 22 years old. And Hud, take your pick of who you'd want to start a franchise with.
Man, Joe, good reporting there. I like that. That's interesting, especially from Beltran, guy who's been there, done it, seen them all.
And the Royals have a young man down in the minor leagues, 21-year-old middle infielder by the name of Raul Mondesi, who got off to a slow start this year, but has those kinds of dynamic skills.
You better believe it.
Yeah, I was talking to Mike Jersley, and he said, you know, his hands are so fast that he's jumping at the ball now, but as soon as he learns and slows the game down, he's going to be a great hitter. And Mondesi learning that right now down in the minor leagues at AAA Omaha.
Usually the last thing to come. Learn how to slow everything down, especially when you get up here.
Merrifield takes care of Lindor. 1 out. The Royals and Fox Sports Kansas City are offering a unique way for fans across the Midwest to enjoy a game at Kauffman Stadium. It's the Raised Royal Fan Express. Fans in designated markets will have the opportunity to win a trip to the K. Next stop is Springfield on May 13th. Go to Royals.com/Fan Express for more information. Brantley 0 for 2. Strike one.
And the crowd is still buzzing over that home run. We've seen Haas hit some good homers, but his power is centered to left center. So at the ballpark here at the K, it's so big that when he reaches the second or third row, it's still like it'd be out, way out in a lot of ballparks. He hits them far, but that one there, hitting it up way up in there in the fountains like that. I didn't even see him do it in BP.
Merrifield with the dive. Oh, what a play!
Player. Very nice. That's what you want. Nice crowd. You want him to hit to your left or to your right. In this case, it's to his right. Nice throw from his seat. Good easy pick for Haas. And when he's sitting down there looking at Locane after that play and he heard the roar of the crowd, that'll give you goosebumps. Sure will.
Yeah, Jason Hamill said he wanted to trust his fastball, trust his defense, and he got a special play from his defender right there for the second out of the sixth.
Long way to go left in this game still, but Hamill looks the best we've seen.
Yeah, the best that Jason has had this year was that 6-inning outing against the Giants here at Kauffman Stadium, where he gave up just 1 run in 6 innings, but a no decision in that one as the Royals lost 2-1. Encarnacion is the Cleveland offense tonight. Belted 1 out. That one tailed back over the heart of the plate.
Escobar was messing with Moose as they're all swung over there on the left side, and he was telling Moose to go even further this way. So Moose was going into the foul ground, and he looked at Escobar. He goes, "Is this what you want me to play?" He says, "Yeah."
Man, that is as dramatic a pull as I think we've ever seen.
A right-hander, anyway. Yeah, there you go. They're all sitting right there. They got it all covered. They're hoping he'll hit it on the ground to him. Now, we don't want to see him elevate anything.
2 balls, 2 strikes. But with the shift, the pitcher must execute his pitch.
Yeah. Hope to.
Because if Salvi sets up inside and the pitch is away, well, you have a lot of room in right center field. Another slider try, and it's a 3-2 count. The left-hander is Alexander. The right-hander is Moylan. Ouch. Another 3-2 try. Hamill to Encarnacion.
Salvi with conviction said, "Throw the fastball. Come on, put it right here." That's it. Trust the defense. Nice job. That's what Island wants, exactly.
Merrifield with a defensive gem in this inning. The 6th inning is our Sonic Slam inning, and our contestant is David O'Connor from Blue Springs. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, David will win $1,800. But if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, David will win $25 grand from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals. Well, Bonifacio has gone deep twice this year. He had a long home run on this homestand, deep to left center field. First pitch by Boone Logan, inside, ball 1. Right-handers hitting .250 off of Logan. Strike.
6'5", 220. He's a big left-hander. He's a low 90s fastball slider. 2-pitch mix.
There's a whack to left field. Second hit for Jorge. He's 2 for 3. Second straight inning, the Royals have had their leadoff man on.
Elevation, that's what you're looking for. Hanging slider, right there, center cut. Very nice. Now he catches that on the back underneath of that baseball. He sends it out of here. But he got the middle upper half.
Now a lefty-lefty matchup with Logan facing Brandon Moss. Logan's been around the White Sox, Atlanta, the Yankees, Colorado. Brandon spent some time with the Indians in 2015. As a matter of fact, hit 15 home runs in only 94 games. Ball, 2 strikes. And he was able to strike him out with that breaking ball. And there's one down here in the bottom half of the 6th. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is back with better picture quality than ever before. Watch every out-of-market game live at home, in the office, or on the go. Blackout restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. There's a beautiful family. And Logan's coming out. We're going to bring on the right-hander. This is our Chevy call to the bullpen. The Royals trying to add to their 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals. Well, Cleveland has had an outstanding bullpen, and Nick Goody is a guy they acquired from the New York Yankees in December. And he has been flat brilliant. He's allowed just 2 hits in 26 big league at bats.
No, he's starting off pretty Well, I'd say perfect.
So he's due to give it up.
There you go. I got him at 6'1", 195. He's got a low to mid-90s fastball, sharp slider, changeup.
He began the year in Columbus. He was outstanding there. 4 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, then got the call up. They send the runner, and Escobar knocks it to left field. They're going to send Bonifacio home, and fumbling with the baseball is Lindor. Bonifacio scores all the way from first base.
Beautiful job of executing a hit and run. Like to see Ned Yost putting that on, and maybe a little bit more often. Escobar got a hanging slider, which is a good pitch to go with. Watch it. Stayed up. He reached out. A booty knock. That's right. His backside fell out. Now, the fact that Brantley left the ground. Jersley with a great call. That ball he read at Jersley on the dive by Brantley, the short hop to Lindor. Lindor had to pick it cleanly off the dirt, or off the grass, and then make an accurate throw home. Bonifacio kept it in gear and got an extra run there.
And he was ready to stop him. And Merrifield showing bunt. Matter of fact, Rusty Kuntz had a lot of guys out bunting today, and Whit Merrifield was one of those. The Royals were out here very early today, working on their defense and their bunting. Jersley was out there.
Excellent read by Jersh. You could tell he was thinking about it, but you know, it's the third base coach has to wait. He's got to be able to see it cleanly. Now watch him. He's looking. He's looking now the whole way, and he sends him, you know, at the last minute by reading the short hop to the shortstop Lindor, the throw from Brantley. If it was an accurate throw to Brantley, he would have held him. But the fact that it bounced, he kept him coming. And he made the right call because Lindor couldn't find a handle on it.
Goody grazed the outside corner. I think Whit thought it was ball 2. Merrifield singled his last time up and scored on the 2-run home run by Eric Hosmer. A swing and a miss, and Goody gets the strikeout.
Moose is waiting for Francona to come out. He just knows he's going to bring in another lefty.
Yep.
He'll mix and match with any manager in the American League.
Oh, they're going to bring in a right-hander, Brian Shaw, and we'll be right back. Thoroughbred Ford. Every day there's a great deal waiting for you at Thoroughbred Ford. And brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all, for less. Alcides Escobar with a clutch double on a hit and run. He came through, knocking in Jorge Bonifacio to make it 3-1 Royals. Now Brian Shaw, another one of their gems out of the bullpen, a 3.27 ERA this year. Why are they going with Shaw?
Shaw's tough. Maybe the fact that Moose is 0 for 5 against him in his career, I'm not sure. But he's got an over 270 average against left-handed batters in his career. So I'm just thinking Francona's got faith in him, wants him to eat up this inning and maybe another one.
Left-handers 4 for 13 off of Shaw this year. And it seems like he throws a cut fastball every single pitch.
90 to 96. He's got the unbelievable movement. He's got
Mark
sinker.
Melanson.
Yeah, he's got sinker, cutter, slider, curve change. He's got them all, but everything moves and nothing's straight.
And he works all the time. 242 appearances since 2014, the most in baseball.
Rubber arm.
Mike pulls it to the right side. Santana will take it himself. But the Royals score one more on Alcides Escobar's double.
Oh! Timely booty knock, and way to go, George. Way to send him home.
Out to Philadelphia for the showstopper. Keep talking about all these guys like Aaron Judge and the home runs. What about Ryan Zimmerman, his 12th of the year, as he goes 3 for 5. He wasn't the only National to homer in this one. How about back in the second inning? Well, Steven Strasburg's not putting up offensive numbers like that, but Strasburg went deep back in the second in this game to give the Nationals 1 run in that inning, helping his cause. Washington on top 4-2.
Thank you, Joel. And Scott Alexander comes out of the bullpen. He'll face Ramirez, Kipnis, and Chisenhall. Ramirez a switch hitter batting from the right side. And Scott, outstanding numbers. This is game number 9. He last worked on Monday night, tossing a scoreless ninth to preserve a 6-1 win over the Sox. Chopper up the middle. Merrifield takes it. And there is 1 out.
Scott Alexander has a bowling ball type sinker, and he learned it from one of the best. Okay, Scott learned from okay, here it is. Here's a baseball right here. He told me he holds it like this, and he throws it. And he learned it from Scott Erickson from the Minnesota Twins. He said he holds it like that, and he just throws it, and it has a sinking effect. The ball goes down, and hitters hit the top of the ball. And Scott Erickson, he had one of the best ever. You know, and I faced him before, and I could tell you firsthand.
We were having this conversation just the other day, Hud, you and I said, who had the best sinker? And he goes, oh, Scott Erickson was like hitting a bowling ball.
So I asked him, hey, how do you hold it? So he holds it diagonally, and he gets these ground balls. And I said, how long did it take for you to master it to where you could control it? He said, a whole season. It did, you know, it wasn't anything that happened overnight. I had to work it every day, the entire season, before I finally got a handle on it. And now that he has one of the best sinkers from a left-hander in baseball.
Yeah, Dave Island raved about him 2 years ago, and of course last year he suffered because of the diabetes. And then he was back. When we saw him in spring training, we said, oh man, that sinker slider's back and he's going to be a real force. And had he been on another staff in spring training, he would have made the big league club. But the Royals already had 3 locks from the left side, so he started in Omaha. And when the Royals had a need, Alexander came up. There it is at 93.
Just throws it firm. He has a pretty good slider to go with it.
And why not trust your defense the way the guys are defended tonight?
He's has a prominent spot in the bullpen. We're going to see it more and more now as the season goes on.
And you were a middle infielder, and you've told me countless times when a guy works quickly, throws strikes, you're constantly on your toes, ready to make good plays.
That's right. That's the whole key, besides the execution of the pitch.
Merrifield with a gem in the last inning to help Hamill. Two balls, 2 strikes. Chisenhall tonight 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts facing Hamill. Jason went 6, gave up just 1. The home run by Encarnacion in the 4th. Broken bat ground ball. Merrifield ties a major league record. 3 assists.
Let's see if Haas can go for the cycle, Biz. You don't want to leave your seat now. George Brett is the last Royal to hit for the cycle. And that was at July 25th, 1990. There at Toronto. And Haas has a chance to this inning. He's coming up next. You see George there putting on a clinic in front of the whole crowd there. Very rare feat.
27 years.
Yeah, now Haas has 16 triples and 3,800 plate appearances. So the odds of that happening really are pretty small, but let's see. You never know. It's baseball.
And this is a vast yard where if you hit it in the right spots, you can get 3. Kane first. Lorenzo has been on twice with a walk and a single.
One of the things that makes hitting Brian Shaw so tough is that he throws across his body, so that it's deceptive and you can't pick it up. And he throws so hard and the ball moves so much, and he's has out of such a quick twitch windup and delivery there, it just makes it tough. Good spot there. That's right where he wants it. Low Kane, good eye. Believe me, this guy is as valuable as the Royals' Ryan Madsen was.
Kane fights it off, one on his hands. Yeah, if you have a guy who has a rubber arm, pitch every day, first Indians reliever in club history to amass at least 70 appearances in 4 seasons. Shaw and Mark Melancon of San Francisco are the only big league pitchers with at least 70 outings each of those seasons since 13. Ramirez spins and fires and just does get Kane at first base. Well, here comes Hosmer, and what a night he has had thus far. Single, double, home run. He's upped his average to 274 in a week and a half. Almost 100 points. He's raised it.
Yep, doesn't take long. He's staying patient with himself. Now triples are you can hit them down the line here, right field, right center field gap are their best places.
Strike one.
But you know, he's not exactly going for it. It just kind of happens.
Chops it. Ramirez throws him out, 2 down. So the Royals are going to need to pick up their offense to get them up there again in the bottom of the 8th inning, and they're hoping that's all they'll see, that they'll close it out with a lead in the next 2 innings. Their bullpen doing the work as Joakim Soria starts to warm in the Kansas City bullpen after Alexander was terrific in the 7th. Salvi broke an 0 for 13 with a single last time up. Again, he comes inside on Perez. They appeal, and the first base umpire, Pat Holberg, said Perez did not go, and I think Salvi hurt his left hand. Stepped out.
A lot of stress on your hands when you try to do this. You try to start your swing and then stop it.
Three and 0. Perez with 6 home runs, 15 RBIs. Gordon waiting next. There's a strike. Ball 4. Just the 4th walk this year for Salvador. Gordon up 3 times. He is grounded out. They have that triangle defense on the right side set up for Alex with KIPNIS in shallow right field. Rex, would you like to play there? I mean, you were a second baseman for much of your career. I mean, that's difficult going from dirt to grass.
No, I really wouldn't want to, Fizz, because, you know, it puts a lot more pressure on you to make the play. A little routine roller to you. It depends on the runner. If the guy's fast, you got to pick it up and fling it in there. And if you're at regular depth, at least at the back cut of the grass, it makes it a little easier play. I've never played out there in our day. We didn't do that. We didn't shift like that, because that's a long way, especially when you're out there a little further. Routine roller to you, you better get it and throw it, or he's going to have an infield hit.
If you chop one just past the mound,
it's a base hit.
Two balls, 2 strikes. The inning started with a pair of ground outs to third by Kane and Hosmer, and then Perez worked the walk. Another comebacker. Gordon out. So are the Royals, but they take a 3-1 lead to the 8th inning here in Kansas City, and it's time for Joakim Soria. And this is Hamill giving up a home run to Edwin Encarnacion in the 4th inning for a 1-0 lead. But in the 5th, Eric Hosmer got a cookie and he delivered it into the hydration station. The Royals went from 1 down to 1 up. 6th inning, hit and run. Escobar knocked in Bonifacio. The Royals lead it 3-1. Now it's Soria's job to protect it. Joakim comes into the bullpen, solid 2.31 earned run average. This is his 12th game this year.
Opponent's hitting just 195. He's had a much better start to his season. He's a fastball, slider, slow curve, slow split finger. And pitches down low like that's where he wants to stay.
He last worked in the 8th inning Monday night, setting the White Sox down in order. Recorded a pair of strikeouts. This is Brandon Guyer. Want to walk the leadoff man, leading by just 2.
No. God, please.
This is a guy who has had a rough beginning. Brandon Guyer just 6 hits in his first 42 times up. Right there at 93. And he strikes him out with the split. Boy, I thought he'd stay with the fastball, but he shook him when Salvi first suggested the fastball and went to the off speed.
When you're coming off the bench to pinch hit, you know, you're looking to swing. That's a good pitch. He had him in swing mode, Guyer, and he just couldn't lay off of it.
And that is a big first out with a 2-run lead at 3-1. Here is Roberto Perez. He's walked and popped up. Soria kind of quick pitched him and missed inside.
Soria is a veteran pitcher. He's got several tricks up his sleeve. He'll flip that curveball up there sometimes around 66, 67 miles an hour.
I love that. The guy corkscrews himself into the ground.
When it's down.
Yeah.
It's got to be down, though. It'll hang.
Fastball right there in the outside corner. Perez hit 3 home runs last year in an injury-plagued season where he missed 2.5 months. Still looking for his first this year, sharing that catching role with Gomes. There is the Bugs Bunny breaking ball at 69. Like you said, Hud, it's tough to sit on any one pitch facing Joaquin.
No, he's a pitcher.
And then he gets him with another slider at 87. Well, fans, now it's time for the unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Kendrys Morales with 2 home runs tonight at Tampa Bay, his 18th career multi-home run game. Paul Goldschmidt also had 2 for Arizona, and Adrian Gonzalez placed in the DL for the first time in his 14-year major league career. The Dodgers start the night 3 games back of Colorado for first place in the National League West. Paul Goldschmidt's Diamondbacks right in front of the Dodgers, a 1.5 games back. How about Buddy Block doing a good job with the Rockies?
Yep, they knew it. That's why they hired him.
Steve Wright. Santana, they've been able to keep quiet. We told you the success that he has had against Kansas City, particularly in this ballpark. 23 home runs against Royals pitching. 2-1. But Carlos in a little bit of a slump, just 3 hits. His last 31 times up. Three and 1. He battled back from a 3-1 count to strike out Guyer.
This is part of the order here, though. You know, you certainly don't want to put anybody on. They got anybody can hurt you here in the next few spots coming up. So take your chances with nobody on here. 2-run lead.
Foul back.
Tell you what, Hamill, he pitched a heck of a game. Now this is really good. He bared down when he needed to, and he did exactly what Dave Island wanted him to do. You know what? Challenge the hitters and don't be pitching away from contact.
Remember, he was behind the count at Edwin Encarnacion, and Salvi stayed with that fastball, and he hit it to center field pretty well, but Kane ran it down.
Yeah, you got to trust the defense.
Struck him out.
Nice job, Jack.
Soria strikes out the side.
Way to go.
One, two, three, eighth inning, 3-1 KC. Tomorrow on FS1, the Royals continue their series with the Indians. Catch all the action on FS1 beginning at 2 o'clock or streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Brandon Guyer stays in the game. He's in right field. And the new pitcher is Dan Otero, 6'3" right-hander out of Miami. Jorge Bonifacio, the batter. He is 2 for 3. See Otero's numbers this year.
Otero's one of those finesse pitchers, not overpower you. He's got a two-seam sinking fastball. He likes to use an 88 to 92 slider change.
He had a great year last year, a 1.53 earned run average, helping the Indians to the American League Central title. Won 94 games, finished 8 games up on Detroit, 13 up on Kansas City.
He was pitching with Oakland that wild card game here in 14. He pitched in that game, as a matter of fact.
Strikes out Bonifacio to start the bottom of the 8th inning.
All right, let's take a look at Yellowwood bringing the lumber, and Haas did that. I'll say, I mean to tell you, a 458 bomb, and that was a beautiful stroke. It was a 2-run homer, and that made the difference so far in this one. I hope it stands. And as Haas has raised his batting average 78 points during a 9-game hitting streak currently, so he's hot. Ride him.
A strike thrown to Moss, down in the count 0-2. And when you have 3 runs, it's not like you've broken out of it, but we're seeing signs. I mean, the team was averaging under 2 runs per game, but the last 8 averaging 3.8 runs.
Right now, Fizz, I think just a win is more important than any runs. However you get it.
Absolutely.
If it's 1-0, I don't care. They just want to kind of peck their way up to back to 300, especially this next little run here.
against their own division here. 2 more. Try to get the series.
And he goes up the ladder and strikes out Moss. And Brandon striking out 3 times tonight. Herrera ready. That's Doug Henry he's working with, our bullpen coach. And Escobar, his big hit came his last time up. 6th inning. Hit and run double. He was thinking about bunting, but the sinking fastball had so much run to it, it almost got him in the leg. Escobar's putting together better at bats. He has 6 hits in his last 6 games.
Yeah, he's got to find a way to hit the top of the ball. He's been hitting way too much of the underside of the ball, popping balls up and hitting it in the air, and he doesn't want to do that. He might hit. He hit 7 home runs last year. That was a career high for him. I mean, maybe he'll do that again.
And in spring training, he said, I can hit more home runs.
Yeah.
Well, forget about it.
No, and I'll tell you, that hurt him. That mindset hurt him to start the season. I don't know why you would try to change what kind of hitter he is. Know who you are and stay that way.
Just off the plate.
He brings value to the team by getting on base. You don't have to steal every time you get out there, but he hasn't even attempted to steal that this year. Get on base and then play that Gold Glove caliber shortstop.
Well, he's worked the count pretty well. I mean, a 1-2 count to a 3-2 count. Escobar, much like Salvador Perez, doesn't walk much. Walked just 3 times this year, but Salvi walked earlier tonight. And then he hits one on the screws. Lindor lays out, makes a marvelous catch, and Escobar is out number 3. Time for Kelvin Herrera. time the Royals turn a double play the next day, McDouble sandwiches are only $1 at participating McDonald's in the greater Kansas City, St. Joseph, and Lawrence locations. This is Herrera's first save chance since April 19th versus the San Francisco Giants. A long time. Just his 11th game. 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and he has to go through the heart of the order: Lindor, Brantley, Encarnacion.
If anybody can, Herrera can. Fastball touches the upper 90s. Changeup, upper 80s. And occasional sliders. Better off staying fastball, changeup, but Salvi and him know better.
Lindor 0 for 3. First pitch fastball at 97, strike 1. And strike 2. Staying with the heat. Punches it to Moustakas. 1 out. Let's go to Joel.
Well, coming up on Boulevard Royals Live, Jeff Montgomery and I will actually be out in the Royals Hall of Fame. Fireworks Friday. Jason Hamill looking for his first win as a Kansas City Royal, and we've talked about it all night and will continue to do so. Eric Hosmer is, I think, I don't know, Hud might say white hot, certainly red hot. We'll talk about that, hear from Ned Yost, player reaction, and much more coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. Red or white, Hud?
Oh, it don't matter right now, Joel. I'll tell you, I'll take either color, and so will he.
Strike 1 to Brantley. Michael 0 for 3, robbed of a hit on a wonderful diving play by Whit Merrifield, the second baseman, who threw him out from his knees. You know, for a guy just 5 feet 11 inches tall, that ball comes out of his hand like it's on fire.
Sure does. He's got a quick delivery too. He speeds it up.
It's tough to pick up. Easy 98.
Tough to pick up.
He's missed on the last 2. Brantley tough to defend. He'll go line to line. Back in the count, 2-2. $90-mile-an-hour changeup.
Impressive, especially when he's down and away. And Brantley's having a good AB here. He's found some pitches off, staying in the count well. Playing him almost straight up on the defense.
Merrifield, 2 outs. That was that off spin with great late fade, and The best that Brantley could do was stay right on top of it.
It's tough to square them up, especially when they're down. Can't lift them. Yep. Encarnacion's hurt him before, but fortunately there's nobody on. Love the fans getting into it here, Fizz. It's beautiful.
25,722 on hand for game one of this series between the American League champion Indians and the Royals. In the air, right field. Bonifacio still going back. He can't make the catch, and Encarnacion will stop at second base.
Good bid. Nothing you could do. He was playing fairly shallow. We wasn't expecting him to hit the ball there, but he caught it just right. Bonifacio took one look down and almost got to it.
Tough out here in Jose Ramirez. Strike one. Back-to-back changeups. Moustakas, quick toss. Herrera with his 4th save of the year.
El Toro! Olay! Fantastic job. We saw it all. Little Royals power. We saw a little frenzy hitting goal, but I'll tell you, that Hamill, he deserves that first W. He worked hard. Fantastic job by Jason Hamill to get her going here tonight in the throw strikes. Only walked a couple. Only that solo home run was all he gave up. Haas, the man from Haas.
And a W on the Hall of Fame. Our Honda plays of the game, Eric Hosmer.
Started out early. He went for it. The first ball hacking, too. The next time up on the first pitch, he's able to hit Salazar. Move Kane to third base. Now, they threatened. They just couldn't get it done. But this one here, this was the bomb of the year so far. I mean to tell you, that brought everybody out of their seat. Whenever you go top deck, water splash, that is a big-time dinger. Honda's plays of the game. Beautiful thing. Smiles and a W is a beautiful thing.
Let's go down to Joe Goldberg.
All right, well, chance to visit with Eric Hosmer. Absolutely seeing the ball right now. First off, I want to ask you about the home run. I know it's a team effort, but that's about as good a ball as we've ever seen you hit. What's the thought as that leaves the bat?
Just tried to be aggressive in the strike zone. He was firing a lot of strikes. He really had good velocity on his fastball, so just trying to get it down early and put a good swing on one.
Is there anything about Salazar in particular that you see well? Because most guys really struggle against him. You've been able to do okay against him.
No, and I'm not going to try and look into it. I'm just going to continue to try to see the ball and hit the ball, but just a good team win. That's obviously a good team to start the series like this, so got a big one tomorrow, quick turnaround, so we'll be ready.
Here it comes. Both? All right.
Happy birthday, Joe. Happy birthday.
Thanks, Salvi.
Happy birthday to you.
Thanks, Salvi. All right.
Everyone give a happy birthday, Joel, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Joel.
I knew I could count on you guys for that. Hey, thanks for the birthday home run and the victory. That makes it obviously much better. I know you guys want to get on that run. It's kind of been 1 foot forward, 1 step back, but to be able to do it, like you said, against a team like the Indians, defending American League champs, how much is that big for the confidence?
It's big. It is. It's a big start. You know, we're doing whatever we can to get out of it, and we know you guys have our backs the whole way, and we're going to find a way to get out of this thing, and we just got to take it one game at a time.
Thanks for the birthday shower. Great job tonight.
Happy birthday.
All right, Eric Hosmer getting the huge ovation. Fellas, let's go up to you.
Joel Goldberg, you are loved, and a great victory tonight on Joel's birthday, along with Sam Abramson, who's working in our TV truck. Happy birthday to both of those gentlemen, and we'll come back and talk more about this one as Joel and Haas get the Salvi splash.